Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Libra, and always a big welcome to those zodiac signs that felt like this combination, which exists only once a year, has an inspiration for them as well. I always do the reading exactly on the day the moon is in your sign, my dear Libra, so it means when I look at the moon, I see the constellation Libra behind it, and when I look at the sun, I see constellation Sagittarius behind it, which gives the light to the moon so that you can look into your subconscious. Now, the ninth house of philosophy, which is Sagittarius, and the planet Jupiter, the wise one, is inspiring you to look deeper into your own subconscious. You are the seventh house of partner relationships. And you looking at yourself here directly. There's no right or left turning path right now in these two cards. There's an exchange of the masculine and feminine energy of the Two of Cups. And this is where you holding also that balance, right, in your left hand. And it's really important that you see this combination, which is influencing the reading right now. That's how I do the readings. So you really get only once a month a reading, and then on your full moon you get a full soul reading. The yoga position that I gave Sagittarius is Paschimottanasana, the forward bend deeply. I bow down to myself. I give myself the masculine and the feminine energy, the receiving and the giving, so that I can recognize within myself that I am a guardian angel. And for you, I gave you Vajrasana, a variation of it, standing on the toes, balancing here in a squat and holding the balance in front of your heart in Namaste, with the sword pointing at the third eye, and the yin and the yang symbol as that sun that is here and then it is gone, right? And here the city that these people feel the shift of the seasons and also the moon waning and waxing. So this is gonna be the influence to the reading today. Today you get a right spinning reading of 13 major arcanas. On each I position from a different deck one card, and your court card here is the Queen of Swords, and you are facing the right spinning cycle. You pointing with your left hand forward, your intuition, and the sword in your right hand that is pointing directly upwards. If your birthday is between September 12th and October 12th, this is your court card. Now, the right spinning cycle is the spin the earth does around the sun, 365 days exactly, divided through the 12 zodiac signs, then gives your zodiac sign, or gives the month. And the left spinning cycle I do while the earth is spinning around the sun. She is in itself having this spin of 25,800 years long, takes really long, this wobble, and then we divide it also through the 12 zodiac sign, and then that gives an age. So that's where you get your full moon reading, your soul path, because the soul path is from within to the outside, right? It's the left spinning cycle. And your human readings, which are now today for you, is when we go into the right spinning from the outside to the inside, we get influenced. Connecting you back to the last reading where you had a second reading where Scorpio Sun was highlighting the Libra Moon, your intuition guides you out of this illusionary world. Very clear, you got a message there, giving you the power to use your intuition, giving you the power to recognize that this world is an illusion and that you are able to get out of it. So, as I said, the 7th house of partnership is your house, and then of course you have Venus. Venus, the loving and caring, but also financial, stable and harmonious planet, is leading you and guiding you. Good, so let's begin. On the position of the Fool, you have, as you can see, both of them are now looking into the left spinning cycle. Here is the Page of Cups, and these are all 3 water signs, which is Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. So there are 3 people involved in the page, and you can see how he's looking into the left spinning cycle. So there is a soul path guiding us from a young age, and then later on we want to guide our own selves. We want to turn around in the other direction. Now, in the Visconti Sforza Tarot, this card speaks about the evil side when we turn to the left. And this is a very old deck, around 1450 it was painted. And here it speaks about that he is holding the cup with white gloves, but he has one foot or one leg in a red stocking and the other one in a white stocking. Particularly the right one is here red and the left one is white. Now, why do they say that the left spinning cycle is bad or evil? And that he, though he's holding with his right hand the cup and the left hand doesn't hold anything, he's holding that cup of emotions and feelings, right? So it's very interesting how, of course, I recognize the fact that one side of our body is feminine and is negative. And back then they made negative, right? But the negative is just the receiving part. And the left side and the right side is then that positive side, is the side that says, okay, I take action. And so here the action is with the red, that action, and white is that purity, which is the intuition. So it's very interesting how that is playing already here in your first card, and you are looking here as that state of consciousness through the Fool. You have that feeling, you have a really emotional feeling coming up here for you that is telling you to search or continue your search for the Holy Grail. On the position of the Magician comes here the Gatherer. And the Gatherer is the one that is finding himself in that state of consciousness where you are act upon what is it that you want to find here. What kind of emotions are you still looking for? Because you have everything that you need. As the Gatherer, you are the one that is self-sustainable, and it's the number 21, which is then becoming a 3. And the 3 is always that one triangle that is helping you to go either pointing upwards, like here in the Sagittarius energy, or it's pointing downwards, which is then the feminine, right? It's not negative, it's just pointing downwards. But a lot of people created out of that something negative. So here you're looking directly at you and say, you don't need to search for more. You have everything you need here, right here. You can always survive. You can always eat. The forest will bring you everything that you need. Then on the position of the High Priestess comes the 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Cups is Mars in Scorpio. So this state of consciousness is your intuition telling you there is a pentagram pointing downwards, and it's again just the triangle is pointing down, which is a negative energy, but it's a test, right? The 5s are always tests in the tarot, And here the test is saying Lord of loss in pleasure. So maybe you have lost some pleasure, but you have here the search, the innocent search through the young generations, the search that you have gone towards the soul path is now kind of like saying, well, I'm not finding it. You're not finding it, and you are somehow in a situation where you're looking at yourself and you're like, okay, I'm not really happy about this, right? And this is your intuition telling you that you have lost something. And the Rider Waite, you see 3 cups have fallen down and 2 cups are still standing. The thing is here, there's no water flowing between these 5 cups. And you see here, this is a triangle pointing downwards, and here these are the 2 of cups. So the 2 of cups are always the 2 dualities that are affecting us. And here the 3 is immediately a tribe, is a triangle. And it's pointing downwards. And it's that negative side that we condemn sometimes and not recognize that, sometimes we go a little backwards, right? Sometimes we stop for a moment, we recognize that something is not flowing. Then on the position of the Empress comes the Lovers, Gemini. And Gemini is literally saying, well, find love within yourself. It's almost like this pentagram that's pointing down is pointing down at you. You are this cup, you are this person. Here's also a triangle, and there can be a triangle like this, but he's pointing with his arrow directly on his head. And the 6 is l'amoureux, the lovers. And here he's crossing his arms in front of his chest, saying that I want to bring my right side over to my left brain and my left side over to my right brain. And this is how we recognize that now I'm in complete union. I'm in my center. And that's what you are learning. You got to learn to become centered again. For whatever reason, right, you have been a little off center. And just remember, the intuition is telling you to see the 5 as a test. And then you give birth, because this is a state of consciousness, the Empress, that's saying I give birth to self-love. Absolute deep self-love. So then comes you. Then you can continue forward, right? This is the court card that I'm demonstrating. I didn't pull it, but I'm demonstrating now. You have understood these 4 stages. And now you can go the right spinning path, the human path. Because you have arrived in your center. Very clearly, it's like, I am most important. And then, of course, the connection with other people. From there on, then comes on the Wheel of Fortune, which is why I'm also doing right and left spinning, because you can turn the wheel in both directions, either to the right or to the left. And that's how you get different words out of the Torah, the Tarot, the Rota, the Orat, right? And that's the quiz of life is speaking to you. And here comes the number 20 under my umbrella. So here comes a friend holding the other friend, and each one gives the other one comfort. One is holding him and the other one is holding the umbrella over his head, so he's protecting him. And you see that, you're looking at that, you're looking at the 2 and the 0. And of course, on the 2, where was the High Priestess, came the 5. And so sometimes things, if it's sad, if it's not happening the way you think it should happen, you have friends that are there for you. And that's where you're looking at. And this is where you're going to continue your path and recognize, I can do this. Now, on the position of the Justice comes the Tower. So there is something wanting to leave. There is something, the number 16, which then becomes the 7. The crown is being taken away. So you have the tree of life, the Kabbalistic tree of life, once in a negative and once in a positive, right? And that's exactly what we're talking about, is like finding your balance exactly between, right? That's where she holds in her left hand, in her intuitive hand, she holds the scale, and now she knows she's got to come into her center. Something is going, something is saying, well, something is breaking apart, and yes, you have a friend, but something needs to go. Something is speaking to you very strongly. Something is shaking you on a profound level that you have to figure out for yourself. But on the position of the Hanged Man comes the Jade Stone, and the Jade Stone is the number 24, a 6. So here, this change of the Hanged Man is speaking to you. Let go, let it deeply go, because you have now a 6-6 framing the 7. Self-love, self-care. The jade is a beautiful stone, and the stone is saying, it's the stone of the heart, right? It's the color green. Inner treasures, consciousness of fulfillment, and recognizing that you more than enough. So maybe that's what you're letting go, right? Here are two people falling off the tower, and you recognize that both are falling off, as that male and female has to fall off. The thought that you think you have the crown, and also that you think the positive and the negative, one is better than the other. Everybody thinks this is the better side than this one. No, here is where the seed grows. And the crown that we're holding is literally, it's shaking you. It's telling you to awaken, right? To let go of either one, to come into your center. So then, on the position of Sagittarius comes here these native Indian cards, the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is Jupiter in Capricorn. So here she is at the shore, she is washing those stones, and she sees the possibility of what she can do with these two of stones, because these are crystals. She's holding a crystal in her hand, and she's recognizing Jupiter in Capricorn is the play of life, juggling with life, juggling with the infinity play of these two energies always, right? Here it is again, these two people, and here comes the Two of Stones. And then what are you going to do with it when you are in the center of it? And it's really interesting. It's almost like this stone here, you become the green dressed, and you're protected by these two trees here. It's a very beautiful card. And so you recognize that you're more than enough. You have everything you need. You have the 2 and the 4. The 2 is the High Priestess and the 4 is the Emperor. So your intuition is there, and you need to take responsibility and act upon your intuition to know that you have everything you need. And then on the position of the Tower comes the Cosmic Egg. This is, of all the animals, the most precious energy. It's a spiritual energy. It's the last animal. It's the snake wrapped around the Cosmic Egg. And so here the crown chakra that has been taken away from you, right? So you have taken that it's almost like, yes, you recognize, yes, I'm letting go of that. I don't need that anymore. I let go. And so here you have arrived. Again, playing with duality, but you are in the center. And so the gift is that the Tower, the number 7 here again, or 16, 1 is the Magician and 6 is the Lovers, right? The Cosmic Egg is coming to you, and you are recognizing one of the most highest, most purest forms of consciousness, which is in a way the 7th chakra. And so here you have the 7, right? The 7 that spoke to you. And you don't have another 7, but nevertheless you have here the 7 through the 7-7 in a way speaking to you, and that you recognize that you are more than enough, and that's why you're getting this gift of an awakening of a higher consciousness. clearly speaking to you. Okay, then on the position of the moon, which is of course here the age of Pisces, right? So currently we're in the age of Pisces, but we are moving into the age of Aquarius. So it's a slow spinning cycle. It takes time. Some schools say we're already in the age of Aquarius, but some say no, we're still in the age of Pisces. So let's be in both. Let's be in between, in the transition. So you have the desire so you have the desire to come out of the deep subconscious. And of course, on your position came the Tower. So you learning to really let go. And here comes the number 26. And the 26 is an 8. So the 6 here of the Lovers is here. And the 2 of the Friendship, the 2 is in here as well, right? And you have a 2 here in the Jade. And you have a 2 here, right? So there is 1, 2, 3, 4 2s. And here comes the community, or the gathering around, the power of community. And you have another 2 here. So here in the position of the Magician, you got the Gatherer. And now you can, because you recognize this, gather around in your community and be protected and be here with these spirits. Sometimes it almost looks a little bit like you're doing a ceremony, a spiritual ceremony, ayahuasca ceremony, something that is speaking to you very clearly. There is a gathering of like-minded people coming to you, beautiful spirits. And of course we know that the mushrooms are holding psychedelic substances in itself for you to awaken to this consciousness, for you to recognize this deep love that you are embodying now. So you find today your gatherings, right? A group of community, a community that is really connected with you, and you're gonna be having fun. Then on the position of the Sun comes the number 15, which is then becoming a 6, comes the home and the earth. And this is of course Sagittarius, or the age of Pisces, or the age of Aquarius speaking behind you. And I recognize that the Gatherer has all he needs. He can find everything. The 6 here, you find that empowerment within yourself. You know that you have everything you need, and so you can go into the right spinning cycle. You can take this experience and go forward and be filled with amazement. And then the Magician, can help you to understand that sadness can be incorporated in life, is important, is a test, is something that we need to learn, and that it's okay to be a little bit sad sometimes, or that you have lost the pleasure in being. On the position then of the last judgment, the guardian angel is calling you, comes this beautiful card, the inspiration here, because this is the creativity oracle. It's telling you insight. See beyond appearances, masks, cliches, and cultural stereotypes to gain insight. The number 7. So what you have let go here on the 7 is that you have recognized that you sometimes think certain things are in a certain way and you don't want to have them, but you have awakened to a deep, powerful energy within you. You have recognized here this community that is coming together, and in this coming together you are your own strength, and then you get this insight of being with these people, being with this tribe, being with, like almost like an African spiritual community, And you recognize that you are protected, that you have everything that you need. And you get the insight now from the wake-up call. Awaken, the guardian angel, is literally calling you and saying, have this insight. Don't see the appearances, don't see the mask, don't see the cliches, don't see the cultural stereotypes to gain insight. Have the insight that we're all powered by spirit. And then comes here the last card on the position of the world, comes here Saturn in Sagittarius. Then you can see that Sagittarius is pushing your buttons, is pushing you to see beyond, and then recognize that the cups that she's holding here, this is a very interesting card. Sometimes it makes me feel like, okay, there's a reproduction. But it's the Ten of Wands. Sometimes we think we have to do a lot. Well, you don't have to do a lot. You just have to do one thing. And that's what she's holding here. You don't have to think about the other 9. You don't have to fulfill anything. You just have to be really yourself. And on the position of the world, right, that is the understanding that you are recognizing now that you are enough. Exactly what was said here. You're enough. You don't need to do more. You don't need to, right, show others how perfect you are. Now you're not, right? And so here comes also this interesting bird with the umbrella. So maybe this is you. You're the bird and you're the person holding your umbrella yourself because of what's happening here. And that's what you have to recognize, right? This one cup then is the one cup that is facing you from the Page of Cups. So there is this cup, right? And in the cup is that magic. In this one cup is the magic, is the love. So here we recognize that he's looking at her, and we see why he maybe has on his right leg a red stocking. Because he likes to take action, but also he likes to be with one foot cautionary into the soul cycle. It's not easy to go the soul cycle, because if we trust the soul, then we let go of a little bit that mind, that ego, and the ego thinks that you can do a lot, but you don't have to do much. You just have to do one action. And 10 is then again the next cycle, right? Which is like the 1 and the 0. The cycle that you have moved up towards. And here you also have a cycle of 20. So you can recognize a little bit here the red. You see that? It looks similar, right? Not really, but has that energy to it. So you are awakening. And you don't have to do much. You just have to do one thing. And that is recognize that that one cup of love that you're searching for is in your center, is in your centeredness of these two legs in between the white and the red. And she's holding that one cup here again. And she's looking down at the other 9. She doesn't need them. You don't need all of that. You just need that. You just need that. And you knew that from the beginning, right? You had that in your hand and you were like, okay, so now you're meeting, you, future self, and your past selves are meeting here. Wow. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because that's when the Earth is spinning in such a way that we see behind the Sun, the Capricorn Sun. And you have here the 2 of Pentacles, the Jupiter in Capricorn. And you recognize that all possibilities can now be happening with moving into a state of consciousness, right? The 2-2, the 2 and the 0. And you have another 2 and another 2. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times the 2, 5 times communicate about your creativity, about your sexuality even. And we're going to look into that in the next reading. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.